Well, I've been telling you guys for years that the black man is the most sought after when it comes to women around the world. Wherever we go, whatever we're doing, you always have groups of other women looking behind the scenes, looking to grab onto a black man, especially black American man. But Dr. Umar Johnson, uh, he had a live the other day, and there was some white women in there, coming into the spaces. And there's a reason why they come into the space. They come into a lot of black spaces because they know that when they come into a lot of our spaces, unfortunately, they're going to be put to the front of the line. They're going to be chosen first. And this is part of our crackatosis that I talk about. This is part of our illness and our sickness that we have, that a lot of our men have been conditioned to put these group of women over top of our own. And I'll explain that later on in this video. But let's check out what Umar Johnson had to say when this white woman invaded the black spaces. Let's check that out, especially the pro-black space.
Miss Kitty Magic, are you an African queen? Miss Kitty Magic, are you vanilla African or are you a trespassing snow bunny? Miss Kitty Queen, Miss Kitty Magic, can you confirm? Can somebody please confirm if Miss Kitty Magic is African vanilla sister or a trespassing snow bunny on my live? Can somebody please confirm? Miss Kitty, are you African vanilla or are you a snow bunny trespassing on the live? No disrespect to you. I just need confirmation. Miss Kitty, you're getting 60 seconds to explain to the King Kong of consciousness why you're here. If you give me an honest answer, you can stay. Miss Kitty, Miss Kitty, I need an honest answer. Why are you on the Notorious RBG's live? Miss Kitty, I need an answer, Miss Kitty. Be honest, Miss Kitty. Are you looking for a brother? Are you melanin shopping? Are you melanin shopping right now? Are you melanin shopping? Maybe you are melanin shopping. Miss Kitty, why are you here, Miss Kitty? Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
So as you can see, Umar was checking it and calling it out. But what's going on now is you have a lot of so-called urban-looking white women in black spaces and these dating shows and everything, and they're coming on and they're looking like the so-called urban stereotype of the black woman, but they're white. And they're going after black men, and they're getting pushed to the front of the line. And when you see where you see this a lot is on Kendra G's channel. You get a chance to see Kendra G and a lot of these white women calling up, thirsting after black men, but black men are just going crazy over, and they can just look like anything. So, some of these women would, if they were black women, these black men would never choose them, but because they're white, they're going after them. Let's check this out. Let's look at this.
So why did I have 1,000,000,000 people in my DMs, and I'm already in St. Louis right now with my new boo?
Are you serious?
Yes.
So
Be
what
waking.
happened? Give me an update.
So his auntie or his godmama was like, she saw the live, but he didn't see it, and she sent it to him, and she was like, "This is your soulmate. Like, I know who she is. Like, you have to find her." And so, girl, he reactivated his Instagram just to find me. And then he was like blowing up, blowing up, blowing up my notifications because it was so many people hitting me up. And so I'm like, who is this man? Kendra. I looked at his profile. I said, "Ooh, yes, Lord, this is me." And so he had bought a plane ticket to come see me on Tuesday. And so I couldn't wait. I got in my car and I drove 12 hours, and I've been here ever since.
Where's he at? I gotta see this man.
But let me wake him up because he said his back hurting.
So as she tell you, she has millions of black men in her DMs. And when from the looks of this woman, a lot of these black men will complain about the black woman. Oh, she's too heavy. She's too ghetto. She has all this makeup on, or she has all these different things. They will complain about the black woman, but because this woman is white and we suffer from crackatosis, this is the stuff that goes on. And this is not just me talking. This is our psychological issues that we actually have. And she can come into these spaces because she knows she's going to get the attention in the black male space that she would never get in the white male space. But it's not just white women coming after black men. There's also transgender women coming after black men in these spaces. Let's check that out.
Related to Kim?
I am.
Oh, okay. How?
sisters.
You're a sister,
I am. I'm one of the big booty sisters.
but your name doesn't begin with a K.
Wait a minute. I need to get to the comments. This is a sir, isn't it? Yes. So let me address these. Don't be disrespectful, you guys.
Wait, what happened? You're a sir? What somebody say?
Someone said, is that a sir? I mean, I guess.
Oh, are you a transgender woman?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So as you can see, but there's not just transgender women looking for black men. There's also gay white men coming in looking for black men. Let's check that out.
Hello?
Hey, girl.
Wait a minute. You were here before.
Yes, girl. I just wanted to give you a little update
Brent used to work at Domino's, right?
until I got fired.
You got fired?
Girl. Anyways, but yeah.
Okay. Where you calling me from?
Girl, I'm at work.
Where do you work?
Girl, Domino's in Louisiana.
What's your name, baby?
Brent.
Brent.
Girl, I'm so happy to be on here. I've been trying so long.
Do you want the guy to be in Louisiana?
He doesn't have to be, but I'm not paying to get myself flew. He gonna have to pay for me to get flew out. Feel what I'm
If he doesn't
saying?
live in Louisiana, if he wants to meet you, he has to fly you out.
Right.
Does the guy got to make a certain amount of money?
No, as long as he could provide for himself, his children, and throw me a little rent money, some,
He got to pay
Yeah.
your rent at times?
Huh?
He got to pay your rent at times?
Well, baby, I'm not. If he gonna be to my house, I'm not paying.
So as you can see, I've been telling y'all that the black man and black woman is the most sought after, but they condition us to not want each other. We keep looking outside of ourselves for everything else, and everybody else sees the importance in us. They understand who we are as a people and the power that we have, our genetics, everything, and they want it. The problem is we don't want each other because we've been beaten down and battered down for so long. And this stuff goes on online. You see us gender warring, beating up on each other. And while we're beating up on each other, saying we don't need each other, you got transgender, gays, white women, white men, everybody swooping in and say, "Oh, y'all don't want each other? Well, I'll take them. I'll clean them up. I'll do this with her. I'll do that." Instead of us showing a strong front, knowing what happened to us in this country historically, and trying to work things out. But Dr. Umar Johnson said something and dropped bars on that white woman that came into the thing. Let's check with Dr. Umar, his response and what he had to say. Let's check that out.
Kitty said it's a black-owned business. So Miss Kitty hangs out with black women. Miss Kitty hangs out with black queens so she can get the black king. You not slick, Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty, you are not slick. You are one of those white women who hang out with black women and you take all of your black girlfriends' men. Miss Kitty, you are not slick, Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty, you are one of those snow bunnies who hang out with the black women and you sleep with all their boyfriends. Miss Kitty, you are a naughty girl, Miss Kitty.
And see, the bottom of the barrel of their groups comes into the black spaces because they know that they're going to be elevated. And this is the problem. This is the problem the way we see ourselves. We see them as something greater than ourselves. And I'm gonna say this too, when it comes to them and a lot of other groups. A lot of other groups in their culture, that it's men ran. And they don't have the freedoms that they have when they're dating black. Because a lot of times, a lot of people like to talk about the black man and the black American man, but you got the black African man, the Caribbean man, the European man all across East and West Europe. And in their cultures, the women don't have the freedoms like they do when they're dating the black American man. Because the black American man, we can still be strong and be who we are and still allow our women to have some form of freedom. We get pushed to the front of the line as looked at as the criminal, the most violent, which is not true. Because the most domestic violence amongst couples is Asian men, European men. It's not black American men. They paint us as that, but it's really not. You look at our culture, a lot of us are single mom raised or raised by women in our culture. So women in our culture have a lot more freedoms than they have in other cultures. And this is why these non-black American women are seeking after a black man. because they can have a voice or some form of power. And we got to understand how this thing is playing out and operating, man. This is why, as black men and women, black American men and women, we gotta get back to loving each other, man. Because these women come into these spaces to sleep with your man, because they see the value in your man, because they understand what goes on in their communities. This is what I'm trying to tell you. They always talk about black Americans don't have no culture, but if these other groups are so cultured, I'm gonna say that for another video, because I'm gonna drop bars for another video. But I just want you guys to understand something, man. We gotta learn to love each other, because these people don't come into our spaces with good intention. They come into our spaces because they're not accepted in their space, because they know that they'll be elevated to the top in the front. But I'm gonna cut this short here. Leave your comments in the comment section. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to Street Media TV. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.